Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in and explore the ultimate biological rewrite. Have you ever wondered what it would take for the human body to survive without ever going to sleep? Today, we're going to look at the fascinating, slightly terrifying anatomy of a sleepless world. 26 years. If you live to be 80, you're going to spend roughly 26 of those years fast asleep, in complete, quiet darkness. When you really stop and think about that, it's wild. That is a massive portion of your life spent entirely unconscious.
And to our modern, productivity-obsessed minds, that 26-year gap feels like a massive tax. Imagine learning multiple languages, mastering incredible instruments, or building massive empires with all that extra time. It prompts a really fascinating question. What if, millions of years ago, our ancestors simply evolved past the need for sleep? Now, if a normal human tried to just stay awake forever today, they'd start hallucinating in days and face total organ failure in weeks. So for us to survive this, our entire biology would need a ground-up redesign.
Section 1. Rewiring the sleepless brain. From the very second you wake up, a chemical called adenosine starts building up in your brain. It acts like a tiny biological hourglass, creating sleep pressure. To stop this hourglass from piling up sand, our biology would need to take one of two evolutionary routes. We'd either need continuous clearance, meaning tireless, specialized enzymes acting like a 24/7 cleaning crew to sweep away adenosine instantly and keep sleep pressure at absolute zero, or we'd need alternative energy metabolism. This means our brains would run on a completely new, clean cellular fuel that leaves behind absolutely no chemical residue at all. But actually, adenosine is just part of the puzzle. While you're awake, your highly active brain produces toxic metabolic waste, like beta amyloid and tau proteins. Normally, our brain tissue has to literally shrink by about 60% at night. This lets the glymphatic system act like a biological dishwasher, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush through wide pathways and wash those toxic proteins away so they don't clog up our minds. So to survive, we would require a continuous flow glymphatic system. We'd actually need a slightly larger skull to house permanent, reinforced microchannels running throughout our porous brain tissue. These dedicated fluid highways would continuously wash the brain while we are completely awake, active, and conscious, all without ever disrupting our neural signals or thoughts. Okay, next up, we have to manage our mental inbox. Every single day, your hippocampus takes in millions of sensory inputs, and its temporary storage is strictly limited. Without sleep to trigger synaptic pruning, which is that crucial process where the brain transfers important memories to the permanent hard drive of the cerebral cortex and deletes the useless junk, our brain's hard drive would completely run out of space in just a few days. We'd become hopelessly confused and forgetful. So how do we fix our memories? Well, our sleepless ancestors might have solved this using one of two fascinating methods. The first is unihemispheric processing. This is an incredibly awe-inspiring trick already used in nature by dolphins and migratory birds. We would gently shift focus, rusting and archiving one brain hemisphere at a time while the other stays alert, keeping our consciousness completely unbroken. Or we might have evolved a defragmentation subprocess. Much like a modern computer, we'd run a constant, low-level background archiving system, seamlessly deleting junk information just milliseconds after we perceive it. Section 2. Rebuilding the sleepless body. The energy crisis of staying awake forever would be absolutely massive. We would basically mutate into biological furnaces. Instead of the normal 2,000 calories, we'd be burning over 4,000 daily. So, you can go ahead and say goodbye to your grocery budget. This requires larger, highly efficient digestive systems and cells packed with super dense mitochondria. And our repair mechanism? That would change entirely. Normal humans get a massive spike of human growth hormone during deep sleep to fix wear and tear. A sleepless human would need a continuous drip of repair hormones throughout the entire day, utilizing rapid DNA repair to fix microscopic muscle tears on the fly, just to keep our bodies from literally decaying as we move around. Even our eyes would require a major hardware upgrade. To keep perpetually open eyes moisturized and safe from constant light exposure, we would evolve a nictitating membrane. This is a translucent third eyelid that sweeps horizontally across the eye to clean and lubricate it, completely without blocking our vision. Our retinas would also need highly advanced photoprotective pigments, so we could stare into brightly lit environments for days on end without suffering any cellular damage. Now, you might be wondering about our internal biological clock. Our circadian rhythm wouldn't just disappear. It would be brilliantly repurposed. Morning daylight would fuel high-intensity physical action. Midday would bring peak metabolic exploration and massive caloric intake. But notice the evening and night phases. Melatonin wouldn't make us unconscious anymore. Instead, it would act as a mental stabilizer, lowering our heart rates and plunging us into a quiet, hyper-focused analytical state, perfect for indoor tasks like planning or writing. We'd seamlessly transition from daytime physical powerhouses to nighttime intellectual observers.
Section 3. The 24-Hour Society.
Scaling up from biology, imagine the societal impact. Our entire civilization would run on a seamless, continuous loop. Homes wouldn't even have bedrooms or beds, just quiet pods for resting, and massive communal kitchens to support our high-calorie diets. There'd be no rigid 9-to-5 workdays, schools, businesses, and life in general would be completely fluid and 24/7. This extra 8 hours a day per person would fuel explosive, skyrocketing scientific and technological progress. But that definitely comes with a heavy price. It would simultaneously trigger catastrophic accelerated environmental resource depletion and climate change, simply because we'd be consuming natural resources at twice the normal speed. And sadly, a sleepless world is a world without dreams. We would be a highly logical and productive species for sure, but we would be completely lacking the magical, surreal playground of the subconscious mind. We'd trade away those bizarre dreamscapes that actually inspired history's greatest scientific and artistic breakthroughs for pure, literal logic. We might just lose a massive piece of our creative soul. Section 4. Why we actually sleep. So let's look at why sleep isn't just some evolutionary mistake. In the ancient wilds, early humans had terrible night vision. Being temporarily unconscious in a hidden cave was a brilliant survival strategy to hide from apex predators like lions and leopards that were out roaming in the dark. Plus, building a body that requires over 4,000 calories a day is incredibly biologically expensive. During early periods of extreme food scarcity, winter or drought, sleep was the ultimate energy-saving mode. We survived because being unconscious and perfectly still in a safe hiding spot was far cheaper and safer than being awake forever. It really all comes down to this. Sleep isn't a design flaw. It's an elegant compromise. It is an absolute biological miracle. It's a quiet harbor where our minds drift from the harsh demands of reality, our bodies undergo massive healing, and our brains organize our chaotic daily lives into stories we can actually understand. So, knowing all the biological miracles happening in the dark, are you ready to appreciate your need to rest? The very next time you feel the heavy weight of exhaustion at the end of a long day, or you start feeling guilty for sleeping in on a Sunday, don't wish it away. Instead, ask yourself how you can better appreciate the magnificent, unseen machinery that is getting ready to heal you tonight.
Please like and subscribe.